Childhood. For many of us, this is something we can fondly remember, as it is a time in our lives where we felt free, where we didn't have the burdens of adulthood or things that adults have to deal with on a daily basis. For some, unfortunately, their childhood may be filled with bad memories and trauma, and for others, they don't even live past childhood. And that is the story we are covering today. Welcome to our channel, where we explore some of the most interesting and mysterious cases in history. Today, we're delving into the JonBenet Ramsey case, which, for over the past 2 decades, still remains a mystery. So, let's dive in and uncover the truth behind this haunting case. JonBenet Ramsey was a 6-year-old beauty pageant queen who was the daughter of Patsy Ramsey, a former beauty pageant winner, and JonBenet Ramsey, a businessman. She was found dead in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado on December 26, 1996. Her body was discovered in the basement of the house, with a garrote around her neck and a skull fracture. The case immediately garnered national attention and became one of the most high-profile unsolved murder cases in American history. The investigation into JonBenet's death was plagued with inconsistencies and errors from the beginning. The police initially focused their investigation on JonBenet's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey. According to statements that Patsy gave to the authorities on December 26, she realized that her daughter was missing after she found a 2.5-page handwritten ransom note on the kitchen staircase at the Ramsey family's residence. The note in question demanded $118,000. John pointed out to police on the scene that the amount was nearly identical to his Christmas bonus of the prior year, which suggested that someone who would have access to that information would be involved in the crime. Investigators looked at several theories behind the dollar amount demanded, considering employees at Access Graphics who may have known the amount of John's prior bonus. It was also considered the possibility that the ransom was a reference to Psalm 118 and spoke to religious sources to determine possible relevance. Now, what struck everyone as odd was that, for a ransom note, it was unusually long. Now, due to the unusual nature of the ransom note being written at the crime scene, the police believed that the note was staged due to it not having any fingerprints except for Patsy's and authorities who handled it, and because it included an unusual use of exclamation marks and initialisms. What I'm going to read to you guys now is the ransom note in question. Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction. We do respect your business, but not the country that it serves. At this time, we have your daughter in our possession. She is safe and unharmed, and if you want her to see 1997, you must follow our instructions to the letter. You will withdraw $118,000 from your account. $100,000 will be in $100 bills, and the remaining $18,000 in $20 bills. Make sure that you bring an adequate size attached to the bank. When you get home, you will put the money in a brown paper bag. I will call you between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow to instruct you on delivery. The delivery will be exhausting, so I advise you to be rested. If we monitor you getting the money early, we might call you early to arrange an earlier delivery of the money and hence an earlier delivery pickup of your daughter. Any deviation of my instructions will result in the immediate execution of your daughter. You will also be denied her remains for proper burial. The 2 gentlemen watching over your daughter do not particularly like you, so I advise you to not provoke them. Speaking to anyone about your situation, such as police, FBI, etc., will result in your daughter being beheaded. If we catch you talking to a stray dog, she dies. If you alert bank authority, she dies. If the money is in any way marked or tampered with, she dies. You will be scanned for electronic devices, and if any are found, she dies. You can try to deceive us, but be warned that we are familiar with law enforcement countermeasures and tactics. You stand a 99% chance of killing your daughter if you try to outsmart us. Just follow our instructions, and you stand a 100% chance of getting her back. You and your family are under constant scrutiny, as well as the authorities. Don't try to grow a brain, John. You are not the only fat cat around, so don't think that killing will be difficult. Don't underestimate us, John. Use that good southern common sense of yours. It is up to you now, John. Victory. SBTC. The note and a practice draft were written with a pen and a notepad from the Ramsey home. According to a Colorado Bureau of Investigation report, there are indicators that the author of the ransom note is Patricia Ramsey. However, the evidence fell short of a definitive conclusion. The Ramseys were eventually cleared of any involvement after a federal court ruled it highly unlikely that Patsy wrote the note, citing 6 certified handwriting experts. DNA evidence found on JonBenet's clothing also failed to match any of the Ramsey family members, leaving investigators with no clear suspects. At 1 p.m., a detective asked John Ramsey and Fleet White, a family friend, to search the house to see if anything seemed amiss. The police started their search in the basement. John opened the latch door that an officer had overlooked and found his daughter's body in one of the rooms. The body of the child was picked up by John, and he carried it upstairs. JonBenet's move, however, further contaminated the crime scene, which disturbed critical forensic evidence. According to the autopsy, JonBenet died of strangulation and a skull fracture. The autopsy also determined that the cause of death was asphyxia by strangulation associated with craniocerebral trauma. It is not clear if she had been raped, although sexual assault couldn't be ruled out. And despite the lack of semen, there was evidence of vaginal injury. During her autopsy, the pathologist noted that a cloth appeared to have been used to wipe her vaginal area, and of course the death was ruled as a suicide. Her death was ruled as a homicide. It appeared that a garrote constructed from nylon cord and a broken paintbrush handle had been used to strangle JonBenet. A portion of the paintbrush's bristles ends was found in Patsy's art supplies tub, but the bottom third was never found despite police searching the house extensively in the days following. Over the years, there have been numerous conspiracy theories that have emerged about who was responsible for JonBenet's death, but so far there were 2 theories about the death. One of these theories suggested that Patsy struck JonBenet in a fit of rage after a bedwetting episode and strangled her to cover up what happened, after mistakenly thinking she was already dead. However, Patsy did not have a known history of uncontrolled anger. JonBenet's brother Burke Ramsey later said, "We didn't get spanked, nothing of the sort. Nothing close, nothing near laying a finger on us, let alone killing your child." The other theory was the intruder theory. This theory suggested that someone entered the Ramsey home through a broken basement window, subdued JonBenet using a stun gun, and took her down to the basement, and JonBenet was killed and a ransom note was left. However, this theory was questioned as there is an intact cobweb in the basement window. The steel grate that covered the window also had undisturbed cobwebs, and the foliage around the grate had been undisturbed. They did follow this lead for the intruder theory, partly due to the unidentified boot mark left in the basement room where JonBenet's body was found. Another theory was that Burke hit his sister in the head with a heavy object, possibly a flashlight, after she stole a piece of pineapple from his bowl, perhaps not intending to kill her. They suggested that the ransom letter was an attempt to cover up the circumstances of JonBenet's death. However, there is not enough evidence to prove this. Despite numerous investigations, theories, and media attention, the murder of JonBenet Ramsey remains unsolved. The case continues to haunt people, and it's likely that if no new evidence turns up, it will remain a mystery for many years to come. And that was today's video. This is the first video on the channel, and honestly I've wanted to talk about this topic for so long because this case always intrigued me, from police inconsistencies to even blaming the brother, which I never really got because the only evidence that you can really go off of is a skull fracture, which isn't really evidence. Honestly, this case kind of hurts because to this day there's still no new evidence or no way to truly conclude who killed this poor girl. But let me know if you have any theories or thoughts about the JonBenet case. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps this channel out and really helps me pump out more videos like this and motivate me to continue doing what I do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.